Hi everybody, this is Paul Gerard. I'm a consultant with the American Dental Education Association. This repayment module is on income-driven repayment plans and how to know if an income-driven repayment plan should be part of your repayment strategy as you graduate from dental school. Now, a reminder on federal loans, there are basically two types of repayment plans. Time-driven, such as the standard 10-year plan, and the extended 25-year plan, where the payments are not dependent on income or family size. They are simply amortized out over a designated period of time. And then there are income-driven repayment plans that we talk about in this repayment module. You'll see a number of the plans listed there. The two that are the most popular with recent graduates tend to be pay-as-you-earn and revised pay-as-you-earn. We have a separate module on the ADEA site that explains the nuances or differences between these two plans to help you know which of these would be best for you if you decide to use an income-driven repayment plan as part of your repayment strategy. Now, income-driven repayment plans are really designed for highly indebted borrowers who cannot afford repayment under a more aggressive plan, most notably the standard 10-year plan. One way to think about the need for income-driven repayment plans is that the bigger the gap between your federal debt and your income, the more likely you are to need an income-driven repayment plan unless you have other resources to make up the difference, perhaps a partner or a spouse, or you're living at home, or you have very, very few expenses. Maybe you have a lot of roommates. But if there's a gap, a substantial one, between your federal debt and your income, there's a pretty good chance you might need an income-driven repayment plan. Now, unlike the time-driven plans where the payments never change, with income-driven repayment plans, the monthly payments change every 12 months. So they change on an annual basis, and they are based on income and family size. You have to recertify or renew your payment amount every year with your loan servicer because they don't have any idea from year to year what your income is and what your family size is. And the loan servicers will give you, in general, 30 to 60 to 90 days of a heads up once you're in an income-driven repayment plan that it is time to renew. So you have ample time to do that. Now, as you can imagine, there are both advantages and disadvantages to the use of income-driven repayment plans. Clearly, the biggest advantage is that if you cannot afford repayment under a standard 10-year plan or even an extended 25-year plan, an income-driven repayment plan should give you a more manageable monthly payment. In addition, the use of IDRs can lead to the forgiveness of your student loan debt, either with the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and a reminder, we have a separate module on that, or depending on which income-driven repayment plan you use, after 20 years or 25 years, if you still have an outstanding balance, the debt will be forgiven. But unlike the forgiveness amount in Public Service Loan Forgiveness, which is not subject to tax, anything forgiven with an income-driven repayment plan after the end of the term does have to be listed on your tax return as taxable income based on current tax law. So advantages to the use of income-driven repayment plans: more manageable monthly payments, and it may lead to forgiveness of your student loan debt. But clearly there are some disadvantages. In some cases, the debt is so high and the income is so low that the payments with income-driven repayment plans do not even cover the interest that's due. And that causes the debt to go up for a while before it finally starts coming down. That's called negative amortization. In addition, there are some nuances of the plans that can be very confusing. We are going to look at the nuances of and the differences between pay and repay on a separate module we would encourage you to take a look at. But the plans can be confusing, and it's difficult sometimes to know which is the best one to use. And as we've already mentioned, the plan forgiveness, meaning if you still have a balance left after 20 or 25 years, depending on which IDR you use, it is going to be subject to tax. In other words, the amount forgiven after 20 or 25 years is subject to income tax based on current tax law. Now, a few additional comments as we close out this short repayment module on income-driven repayment plans. We would encourage you to first consider time-driven repayment plans such as the standard 10-year and the extended 25-year plans before you actually look at the IDRs. Be sure you can't afford a more aggressive plan before you look at an income-driven repayment plan. There are plenty of borrowers using IDRs who are not planning to have their debt forgiven. They simply cannot afford repayment under the other plans. But once they get into an income-driven repayment plan with a comfortable monthly payment, they overpay and take control of their debt. There's never a penalty for overpayment. So just because you use an income-driven repayment plan doesn't mean you can't aggressively pay on your student loans. Be sure you work very closely with your loan servicer if you do that. You can apply for an income-driven repayment plan online at studentloans.gov, but always speak with your loan servicer first. And be sure to remember to recertify your amount of payment under an income-driven repayment plan in a timely way. Remember, the payments change every 12 months, and your loan servicer will be notifying you usually 30 to 60 to 90 days before that 12-month period of time is up. It's very important that you recertify in a timely way. Now, hopefully you're already familiar with the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator known as Dealloc. You can upload your federal record directly into Dealloc and get repayment and forgiveness estimates on the income-driven repayment plans based on your own student loan portfolio and your individual career plans. This is a great tool for you to help you with the income-driven repayment plans. Studentloans.gov, look for the repayment estimator. It's a great calculator to see the impact of changes in income and family size on the payment amounts under the income-driven repayment plans. We hope this information has helped you as you determine whether or not an income-driven repayment plan should be part of your repayment strategy. Best wishes from the American Dental Education Association.